My mission is simple, to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now. Hey, I'm Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramer. My friends, I'm just trying to save a little money here. My job is not just to entertain, but to educate, to teach them. So call me, 1-800-743-CNBC, or tweet me, Jim Cramer. What do you do when you don't know what to do? How about nothing? I mean, that's how I felt today when the world of artificial intelligence was upended by a Chinese company that claims to have a solution to the colossal toll that NVIDIA exacts on anyone who wants a piece of the AI action. The Chinese outfit, DeepSeek, apparently has figured out a way to get much more of each NVIDIA chip, get much more out of them, much more than anyone thought possible. And that news crushed the Nasdaq, which plunged 3.07%. Dow advanced 2.89%. S&P lost 1.46%. Now, we really don't know how DeepSeek did it. We do know that many big companies have ordered a huge amount of chips from NVIDIA, and there could be some serious buyer's remorse now. Maybe all of the spending going to NVIDIA was needless overpay. Maybe the gigantic number of data centers that are being built, huge driver of growth in our country, simply aren't needed. Maybe all the cooling process expenses are a big mistake. Maybe the rush to reopen old nuclear plants and put up more renewable generation and even bring back coal, totally unnecessary. Today, the air went out of every one of these balloons. NVIDIA's decline was the biggest shock, with the stock plummeting 17%. It was breathtaking. The single largest loss in a day of market capitalization in history. Wait a second. The second largest single-day loss? Well, that was also NVIDIA. I mean, it looks like it has a habit of getting clobbered. But then there's also a habit of people coming in and buy the dip. Will it happen again? If there are more revelations about DeepSeek doing much more with less, fewer NVIDIA chips, more compute, then NVIDIA stock is unfortunately not done going down. Though, I will say the pin action off this Chinese outfit did more than just knock over NVIDIA. We saw stocks like GE Vernova, the builder of so many power plants that are needed for these big data centers, just get hammered, falling nearly 22%. We saw a huge collapse in the merchant utilities, the ones with clean nuclear power, like Vistra Energy, Constellation, which dropped 28%, 21% respectively. So buying opportunity, selling opportunity? How about a do-nothing opportunity? Because I just don't know. As always, I told Investor Club open hand, right, what I'd be doing with the Travel Trust, but I didn't really have all that much to say because NVIDIA didn't have much to say. Now, NVIDIA, in a way, tried to help out in a positive, I guess, way, where the release said, quote, DeepSeek is an excellent AI advancement and perfect example of test time scaling, end quote. They also said that you still need significant numbers of NVIDIA GPUs and high-performance networking to make it happen. Reassuring? I don't know. Certainly not enough to get in front of this speeding freight train. All aboard! We do know one thing. Every time anything bad happens to NVIDIA, you can bet all the negatives will be out there in full force, along with those who think that the benefit from DeepSeek's open-source AI offering are going to move away or don't need as much NVIDIA power. Salesforce, for example, has pretty much called this a tectonic shift in the AI world from hardware, which CEO Mark Benioff now calls a bit of a commodity, to software as a service companies like Salesforce, which are proprietary and can interrogate the data and create real value. Hey, the market ate it up. Salesforce word today, almost 4%. And a lot of it was the stuff that Mark was tweeting. I wasn't alone, I wasn't alone. I'm feeling a little lost here. Apple stock rallied. I mean, ostensibly because they can now buy cheaper AI. Meta Platforms, even as it already spent billions on NVIDIA chips, took off because of a belief that it won't need to spend that much more money in the future. But Oracle, Microsoft, and Alphabet, they got crushed. And yet, they're also gigantic buyers of NVIDIA's chips. Should they've all gone up like Meta or down? I don't know. It's part of the confusion. And the real quandary is, why did NVIDIA say that it's become much more of a software company and that you need the hardware to run their software? It also would have been good to find out how many chips DeepSeek is really using. But it isn't. Think about it. If it was a lot, right, then our government would simply ban all NVIDIA exports to China. What a high-risk situation. If you're NVIDIA, you're really in a jam here. See, if DeepSeek really didn't need many chips to make its generative AI platform work, that could be very negative for the NVIDIA story, because then you don't have to order as many chips. But if it turns out that DeepSeek had hundreds of thousands of chips, like the American hyperscalers, then you'd have to believe the new president would make it much harder for Chinese companies to buy anything else. Whew. Now, how about all these energy and data center stories? Well, these were overheated. Stocks like Constellation, CEG, not the STZ kind, or Vista, or Vertiv, the power system creator, or for the data center, or GE Vernova, which makes the turbines. These are all part of the quandary, because their stocks were up so much going into today that you could argue that today's hideous declines are barely even meaningful. Sure, Vista was down almost 30% today, but that's just means it's back to trading where it was in mid-December. I don't know. When something is that hard, when you really don't know the answer, you got to do something that's very alien. You have to sit on your hands, and you have to say, that one is too hard for me to figure out right now. For example, not that long ago, we sold some Broadcom for the Charitable Trust, with much higher than where it went out today. If this one stabilizes, I think it might be a buy, because they have a ton of business away from the data center, and after this decline, the stock's no longer expensive. However, I don't know. I mean, it could be a freight train. How about the world of Arista Networks and Marvell Technologies? They fell 22% and 19% respectively. They're very good companies. But again, they're up so much that I don't know where the owners, what are they going to do tomorrow? Maybe the owners said, hey, look, maybe a group of analysts downgrade all these stocks. These deep-seek revelations happen so quickly that many analysts didn't even have time to assess the situation. Of course, the money that streams out of these hot stocks has to go somewhere, right? And today it was flowed into something that had been pretty cold. So we got these absurd moves into the consumer packaged goods place like Procter & Gamble, or the retailers like Walmart and Costco. I mean, Charitable Trust was Costco, but come on. These kinds of explosive moves are totally mystifying to me, even as they were terrific for my Charitable Trust. Nothing's happening to these companies. Nothing. It's just sector rotation. So what the heck are we supposed to do here? Take some Costco stock and sell it because of irrational exuberance? Just enjoy the win? I don't know. Believe me, it is tough enough to figure out whether to say to people, okay, Apple's up huge, and that's a big overreaction. I don't need to opine on Costco. All that said, the real issue is the former largest company in the world, NVIDIA, and whether numbers now have to come down because there will be a freeze in spending as clients reassess those multi-billion-dollar orders. Maybe it'll be like the pause in the internet build out of 2000 that turned out not to be a pause at all, but a collapse. At what point is that loss built in? Honestly, we don't even know if there'll be a loss. But there have been so many people saying that NVIDIA run is too much, it's over, and it was all about momentum, perfection, and dominance. But the momentum, perfection, and dominance have now been called into question. Bottom line, I have no view on DeepSeek yet because we just don't know enough. Sometimes you have to do the hardest thing in the world, and we play with an open hand on this show. We got to wait. We got to wait until we know more, rather than taking knee-jerk action and pretending that we know the answers. How about we go to Ian in Florida, please? Ian.
Jim, booyah. How you doing?
Not bad, Ian. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Doing all right here in sunny Florida.
Nicer place down here?
Yeah, actually,
I'll join you
investment in the club, of course.
Yes.
Very happy about it.
Thank you.
Second-time caller.
Oh, excellent.
Jim, I wanted to ask you, today was kind of crazy with this DeepSeek AI, and I've been looking at a stock that kind of goes hand-in-hand with NVIDIA. It's a data center, and it got really whacked today, to be honest with you. I think it's down in the low 104s. It's a data center play, and it's called a VRT. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it's like the inner plumbing's Vertiv. It's Dave Cody's the chairman. He's my next-door neighbor. Used to be my next-door neighbor from Honeywell. I have to tell you that stock fell so much that here's what's going to happen. When you see stocks fall $43 on a $150 basis, that means the sellers are not done. They will come back again tomorrow. They will break the chart. They will make things happen that will wish you that you bought this stock at 80, not 100. That's typically what has happened. I need to go to Jack in Ohio. Jack.
Hi, Jim. How are you? Big fan.
Thank you, Jack. Thanks for calling. What's happening?
Well, I got an RMD I'm going to have to take this year, and I'm trying to figure out what stock to go with in my portfolio. I've got a big position in Ford, and I'd like your opinion on should I hang on to it for a while.
Okay.
I am up to...
I'm sorry. All right. Well, here's the problem with Ford is they have big warranty issues. They're all coming back to haunt them because it costs so much to fix a car. Now, we have GM tomorrow, Mary Barra. I think she might report a good number, but I got to tell you, the autos are part of the economy that people are saying, we need rate cut, we need rate cut, we need rate cut. And Ford in particular, at 5 times earnings, tells me that something is wrong there. Oh, hold it. You know what we got to do? We got to go to Corcor in Illinois. Corcor.
Hey, Jim. Go Eagles, go Eagles, go Eagles. How are you?
Go Birds. Go Birds, man. We were all over the Birds this week. I picked my wife there with the dogs and everything. It was really something. Go ahead.
Yes. first-time caller and also a member of the club. Well, my question to you is CMG Chipotle. What do you think? What's going on? You know what I mean?
Right. Somebody came out today and said that they think that the growth rate for next year is not going to be that high. That was a devastating call. And what did the stock do? It went up anyway. So my take is, look, I think Scott Boatwright's doing a good job. I have no desire to trade Chipotle. That's been a sucker's game. Let's just own it. And if it comes down, we buy a little more there. That's the Chipotle story. It's not a trade. It's an investment. All right, look, the decline in some of the market leaders today, I have to admit, was just breathtaking. And I'm not willing to take either side of this trade until we know more about the impact from DeepSeek. I wish I could. Everyone seemed to know so much today. I'm making millions of calls. I didn't find out anything. Oh, man, I tell you, how is the fear of missing out shaping today's tape? I'm telling you where I stand on the latest parabolic moves and how diversification comes into play. Then, could the prices of corn, cattle, and oil keep heading higher together? What is that about? Let's go up the charts on the rally in these commodities. And later, I'm sitting down with a very controversial, the CEO of Beacon Roofing, as the company responds to a takeover, hostile takeover bid from QXO. So stay with Cramer.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on X. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadMentions. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.